Okay, I am so tickled to have Gail and Mike Hogan with me today. You know, since we have all been quarantined, we have not been seeing each other, we have not been socializing enough to really get to know each other. So today, I am looking forward to you getting to know Gail and Mike a little bit about their passions, profession, things that just make them happy. All right, Gail.
Well, I don't know what you want to know.
I would love to know about your talent, which is you owned a wholesale business, I understand, and want to know a little bit about that, how that came to be.
Well, when I was 5 years old, my grandmother taught me to knit, and that was the beginning. And I just, from then on, always had something that I was doing. And after Mike and I were married, and we were living in Chapel Hill in student housing, when he was in graduate school, I decided to do a little needlepoint. So I went to the local shop and I got something, and one thing led to another, and then I got more interested in it and couldn't find things that I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to try to paint my own canvases. And that's how that started. And so I would just paint a canvas and then stitch it.
Wow.
And then, as the years went on, I sort of put out feelers and tried to see if anybody was interested, and they were. And so I actually opened a business, and it was wholesale. We sold only to shops,
Right.
needlework shops all over the country. And it was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was very satisfying. It meant that I was at home. There probably weren't 3 times in each of our girls' lives when I wasn't home when they got home
Wow.
from school, which was great. It made, sometimes things were sort of chaotic. Anytime you have run a business in your house, especially when it was things, but it worked, and then both girls were stitchers.
Oh, wow.
And Mike, when they were younger, always went with me to a trade show. And then when they got older and were in late high school, sometimes I would take them, and they had a wonderful time. They loved it.
Great experience.
Yeah, it was
I
a good
know.
experience for them, and they'd get right in the booth and sell.
Right. Oh, neat. Now, how long were you involved in the wholesale business?
Ellen was 6, and she would be 54 now, so 48 years.
Wow.
48 years, and I really did not want to give it up, but Mike was agitating, and so finally I decided I would, and I guess I was 75 by then, so it was
Right.
probably time.
Wow.
But I always enjoyed it and made wonderful friends,
Right.
many of whom I still am in contact with.
Right. We need to look around at some of the pillows which are beside you. You can tell you really did have a gift for this.
Well,
Sure does.
Yeah, absolutely. So you know, I can tell how much you've enjoyed it. Now let me ask you this. So while you were running that wholesale business, let me hear a little bit about Mike and what he was doing with his profession.
I was interested in risk assessment and finding the risk associated with exposure to various substances, and the most exciting thing I looked at with a friend of mine was asbestos.
Wow.
And,
Oh, yeah.
and
Big topic. Mhm.
Yeah, we wrote one of the first American papers on it, and we did several others, but that was the most exciting one.
Right. Wow.
He was a biostatistician.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. I was gonna let you say that instead of me trying.
Well, I misspelled it for the first
10 years. Well,
10
Mike,
years I was one.
but Mike can't spell, so.
No.
Okay. Wow. So both very busy people with wonderful, wonderful professions.
Well, and very, very different interests,
Right,
you know.
right.
I mean, Mike can't thread a needle.
Oh,
no.
right.
No.
But to be able to go to the trade shows,
Yeah.
see that and have that interest, you really enjoyed, I think, Gail's.
Oh, I like selling things.
Yeah, so that seems like a win-win
Oh, yeah.
for both. Well, now what I'd like to do is to thank both of you. I'm going to get Larry to take the iPad and just kind of scan around. Before I do want you to say a little bit about the chair behind me.
Yeah. Many years ago, Mike and I went over to Durham to a so-called antique shop, just to see what they had. It was actually a junk shop, but this chair was in the shop. Hideous, home-done upholstery job. And I looked at it and I said, you know, Mike, I want that chair. And he was going, oh, no. It's too hideous. And I said, no, gotta have it. So for $100, we left with the chair. And it sat in our living room 6 or 7 years anyway, before I decided to do anything with it, because I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Wow.
Mike kept saying, if you don't do something about that chair pretty soon, I'm gonna have it upholstered in red velvet. So I finally decided that I wanted to do needlepoint and do birds. We're bird nerds.
Bird people. Mm-hmm.
So we had a absolutely wonderful upholsterer, and I called him and he came. And I explained to him what I wanted to do. So he marked the canvas, the outlines of the chair, you know, and the way, of course, the turnovers and all of that.
Right.
And then marked lightly the seat and back area that would be exposed. And then I painted the birds on it.
Wow.
And then I started stitching, and it was probably, I don't know, 2 years maybe before I finished it.
Wow.
Because I had lots of other, I mean, I had my business to take care of.
Right, right.
And I had, other things. But it was a long project,
Wow.
and a lot of stitching. So then, that's how that happened.
Well, anybody that loves birds, this is a happy chair.
Oh, yeah.
You see so many of the birds that we see and
Sure.
love, and your choice of colors and the fact that you painted those birds,
Yeah, well, yeah.
it is lovely.
Much more attractive than red velvet, I might add.
Oh, I wasn't gonna have that.
Right.
Red's my favorite color,
Right.
so.
But see, here's the thing. A woman knows when she sees something that's gonna work.
Yeah.
She knew it wasn't gonna have red velvet.
No.
She had a plan already,
I didn't know
so,
what it was gonna have, but it was not gonna have red.
red velvet. All right, well, I'm gonna let Larry then take that iPad and kind of scan.
Yeah, I'll start over here, then I'll get the chair last.
Yes,
Okay.
okay.
And I'll just scan from here over.
And we've got the stool.
I'd like to make the point that Gail put both our girls through college with her business.
With our, wow,
I bought the cars too.
that is
Wow.
huge. And this is a big part of the family, is Juliet.
Hi, Juliet.
Okay, that's enough.
Come here.
Okay, now this is the chair we were talking about.
Yes. So you wanna get that whole seat and all.
A little bit here.
There we go.
Well, Larry acts like he knows what he's doing.
Well, he's got it, he's done
Appearances
with
can be
that.
very deceiving.
That footstool has a needle point.
Oh, yeah, a nice beachy scene there.
Well, the shell motif on the knees of the stool is what,
Look at that, what, yeah, encouraged you to
yeah.
pick that theme. Because, you know, I think I told you, my sister-in-law's mother created needlepoint designs.
Oh, really?
Oh, she did that. She was a quilter. She was into so many different
Yeah,
types.
see, I mean, I don't know, these people are just sort
You-
of nuts
Oh, yeah, you just,
and wanna do everything.
there's a real gift though. I mean, you had that artistic flair with just being able to do needlepoint. It was more than that. It was for you to be able to paint the canvases and to do that part of it. Really create the designs themselves is huge. Good, good. Well, thanks again.
You bet, thank you.